Bye.
What's going on, everybody? This is Paul from the PNP, Paul and Palz podcast. With me, as always, are the pals, Mr. William Lendoogz. What's going on, fellas?
Yeah. What's up? What's
What
up?
up? Gentlemen, what's good?
Can't call it grinding out, man. Grinding out. Doing 7 days for this month. I'm gonna have this, gonna have a nice little break because of Thanksgiving break and all that. But after that, it's back to 7 days, probably for the rest of December also. So getting there, man. Just grinding through. Doing what we can. How's everybody else doing with their little grind and their hustle and everything else going on?
Well,
Taking it day by day, just keep trucking on, as they say.
That is the name of the game. What up, Len?
same here, man. Just same here. I guess there's some things I want to talk to you guys off air, but things are going good. Can't complain. I got the new Mac came in, so I'm getting acclimated to that, which is good. Yeah, it's taking some time, but I got some other work priority stuff that I can't fuck up. I got to do by the end of the month, so like that's kind of been taking most of my time right now. I got to keep up with my credentials. So it's like a lot. When I say a lot, I mean a lot of fucking reading. So just been going through that, So it's been grinding, trying to get through.
So that actually goes into what I want to start talking about perfectly, since everybody is just grinding away, turning into dust. I actually want to talk about that. I want to talk about the grind. Because off air, we've been having these conversations during the week of just, Will, you're trying to get, you're helping me out with this. You're doing Told Me. You're doing the sneakers Told Me. You're doing this, that, and third. Len, you're getting your artwork, just got your MacBook up. You're getting all your stuff in order on top of the crazy job that you're doing and the grind that is. I'm doing the balancing between the podcast and trying to get a couple other things off the ground. And then that's a work in progress on top of my work schedule, my work grind. I just want to talk about the grind. It's relentless. It does not stop.
No.
However, it's the worst and greatest thing ever. It's what's needed to be done to get where we have to go. That's the beautiful part of it. Because if we do grind out and we do go in as hard as we need to go into, as long as you're in the game and you're still fighting it, the rewards are there. Now, the alternative is you could just do nothing. You could just hang out on the couch, depending on what people, not anybody here, but everybody's preferences are, you can hang out, play video games, smoke and drink the days away after your 9 to 5. And those 9 to 5s are beneficial. They give you a roof over your head. They put a little bit of food in your belly. Like, it helps, but not what it. If you're content with that, then good. If you want more, there's a cost that comes with it. Many podcasts ago, we were talking about everything costs something. The grind is going to cost you. But the end result of that, the cost is going to be great. You could do nothing. That's going to cost you too. And you'll see what that's going to reap. And it's not going to be much. You could hang out in mediocrity if you want, if you're content with that. Anybody that just wants to hang out on the couch and just play video games all day, that's what makes them happy, fine. If you have ambition, that's not fine. You have to do the things you do. And Will, that's why I give you credit. Your hustle game. You're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this. It's tough. And I would love to do this podcast today and tomorrow have 1 million people subscribe and watch. I would love to be just famous off of it after one episode and doing it. It's not how this game works. Other than winning the lottery, that's not what grinding is. You have to put in the work. Now, I've come to realize that the hardest thing, there's two things about this game, this grind, that's the hardest part. The first is the first step. People don't realize that first step is probably the toughest step you're going to make. Once you take that first step, don't get me wrong, the rest of that journey is trudging through the mud and sludge and all the other stuff. But that first step, that initial step, is going to be the easiest one or the hardest one. But once you make that, the rest of the steps, even though they're harder, are not as hard as the first one. The second thing I'm realizing is a lot of it has to do with self. It's going to be the naysayers that tell you, nah, man, don't even try it. Just don't even waste your time. You're not going to get anything out of it. Just wasting your time. That leads, and also rejection. If not the naysayers, the people that tell you no. Whether it's a job interview, whether it's you trying to, whatever it is that you want, chances are you're never going to get it the first time you do it. You're going to get rejected. And a lot of times you're going to get rejected over and over again. Again, that's what this game is. The benefits of it, getting rejected over and over again, you learn. You level up after every rejection. And then sooner or later, those rejections don't mean anything because you just, I don't care. I'm doing what I got to do.
Get numb to it.
Get numb to it in the best possible way.
Oh, yeah.
The other part to that is what goes on in your nugget, man. The self-doubt that creeps in. Okay.
Oh, fucking boy. I'm going to punch that kid right in his face.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would punch that kid right in his face every time he shows up.
You do. But the thing about it is this, though. That self-doubt, when you get knocked down, you know, you should eventually get up. I'm not telling anybody to get up immediately, but that self-doubt that creeps in your head, it's all self-imposed. At the end of the day, you're doing it to yourself, which means if it's self-imposed, you have the power to tell that self-doubt to eat a dick. It's like that part is such a major factor of it. Again, I've always said one view, one subscriber, or 100, and I'm good. But there's always that, is it worth it? That self-doubt creeps in my head. Man, maybe you're just wasting your time. Why? But you know what? You want the naysayers. You want the self-doubt because you need to conquer it. And then once you conquer that, you become bulletproof. Get those voices out of your head that say you can't. Use it for strength. What was that?
Let pain guide your purpose.
Let pain guide your purpose. Let all that come in. And after it soaks you in and then you chill out in that darkness, you end up a better person off of it, a stronger person. You should. If not, you lose. You have got to be better than what your voices on your head is saying. There was a quote, and this was an interview a long time ago. It was from a rapper, don't know the rapper's name, but he said, you know, a person's not meant to fuck themselves over, was the message overall. I disagree with that now. 9 out of 10 people, they have that self-doubt. That's where they stop. If this grind was easy, everybody would be grinding, everybody would be successful. The differences there's going to be between us and the ones that don't, the ones that stop, is because they stop. They listen to those voices, and you know what they tell those voices? Yeah, you're right. It's not worth the time. It's not worth the effort. And then they win. That voice wins. And then you find yourself stuck in the same position, trying to figure out how you can get out when you know the answer, but you're letting those voices get to you. This grind is relentless, man. It beats you down. The military has a saying. The military says, embrace the suck. And you have to do that. This thing is going to break you. This grind is relentless. It's going to stomp you in the ground. Every time you get back up, it's going to hit you back down until you conquer it. And then when it goes that one last time to stomp you on the ground, you stop it. And then you become better than that. And then there's no stopping you. So I'm saying, out of my own advice, I'm saying it because I've been stomped down. Had my self-doubts and all that. But last week, when we were done with the episode, we talked for like another 45 minutes. And in there, I pretty much bared my soul to you guys. And I'm not ready to talk about that in this forum yet. It'll happen, but not yet. I want more. We deserve more. The only thing stopping us is us. That's it. Like, it's that simple. It's the only thing that's going to stop us. If we succeed, it's going to be because of us. If we fail, it's going to be because of us. Because of that factor, I'm not going to fail. You guys have to carry that mentality. And I'm speaking from somebody who's lived in self-doubt more than I will ever admit. To the point that it's semi-embarrassing to admit. But sooner or later, you do realize. And you level up. And I'm leveling up now. I feel it. It's just something inside me that's the switch that's being switched, being flicked, and I feel it. And I now know this is never going to stop. This grind will stop when I'm dead. So to the ones out there, Len, Will, anybody that hears this, we all have a self-doubt. We all get tired. We all don't want to do more because we're tired. Long day at work. I don't want to do the editing. It takes editing these podcasts for the YouTube version literally takes about 6 hours for the loading and all this and figuring it out and editing and all that. It takes a chunk of my day. To the point that when I'm done, I have to be up at work for like 5 hours later, 4 hours later. That's the cost. If you're willing to pay it, then good. I'm willing to pay it. Because my alternative is, how I said, has been some of my issues with, when we went off the air and I was talking. I'm not doing that anymore. And if I am, then it's gonna beat me. But if I'm going to keep fighting, then I'm in half the battle at least. So, if you guys want to add to that, because I know this grind has been grinding on us all. So
Yeah, it sure has.
If you want to add to it, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I've been having a lot of doubt myself, and it's more with it's two things: frustration and the numbers. So, for me, I think over the years, especially with this generation, the bar has been lowered. Like, stuff that you can go viral on, or things that get catchy, or things that get millions and millions of views. I mean, that bar is like lowered. You can literally film yourself, go to the bathroom, doing a fart, posting it, and it'll go viral. I mean, that's how low the bar is. So, and that's also where my frustration comes in, because it's like, I totally believe in this brand. Like, the design came out like way better than I expected. I mean, once I had this design, I had like 5, 6 more, 7 designs down the line that I'm going to do. You guys saw the new second design that I did, the Kazi collection. There's like, I'm like 6 more designs ahead. So whatever. So I have this thing called Google Ads, and what it does is it posts your ad all over the world. Well, I set it so it posts all over the world. And while, yeah, I'm generating some sales, I'm looking at the numbers and it's just like, man, this is crazy, because I just looked at my Google Ads account and it's like, I have 200,000 impressions. So what that means is my ad was placed in front of 200,000 people around the world. And I actually go to locations, I see like Singapore, Thailand, all over. And then they have a thing called clicks. Clicks means, okay, it was presented in front of them and they were actually interested enough to click on it. Those numbers are pretty low, surprisingly. So it's like 200,000 impressions and then 4,000 clicks. So 4,000 people actually clicked because they were interested.
I think that's still a good number, but I understand what you're saying, though.
The thing that's frustrating is I just know for a fact that the way I'm crazy over these designs, I'm like, I know this thing is like official. I know, like, I believe in it. And what frustrates me, it's like, right now, it's 200,000 impressions to 4,000 clicks. I know right now, if I was to send just this, let's say this t-shirt to one of the Kardashians or one of, like, if they wear it, boom, tomorrow, 300 million, like, instantly, just because somebody else wore it. I mean, it's like total bullshit.
But it's not, though. First of all, I like the Kazi collection. So anybody check out Tommy.com, check out the Kazi collection. That is fire. I definitely will say that. B,
thank you.
Don't compare yourself. You're going to compare yourself to somebody that, off of doing nothing, that they have millions of viewers and subscribers and all this stuff. Like, who are the Kardashians? Yeah, we get that part, but they're in. They're in. Don't compare. That's like me comparing, oh, well, you know, I write rhymes, but I don't get the same love that Eminem gets. Don't compare that way. You want to compare yourself to the best and see how you can do better. But they're there. You're where you're at. But understand, those people that are there were once where you were at. No, but again, it takes a while to get where you need to go. That is the grind. For the people that film themselves doing something stupid and they're not viral, the only difference between that is they kept doing it. They got their following and they've kept on going. For the people that find something but then they stop and that's the end of it, that's the end of it. If you believe in your product, you're halfway there. You believe. Don't stop. If you believe it, don't stop. If you don't believe it, stop. Because if you don't believe it, nobody else is. If you believe in it, then you need to, strategize. You said you have 6 designs down the line.
Yep.
You're playing chess. Chess is, I need to know 12 steps ahead what I'm going to do. That's what the best chess players do. Listening to the people that haven't done it, they're playing checkers. If you're hearing the naysayers or those other people, ask yourself, even in your voice in your head, ask yourself where they're coming from. You're going to take advice? Are you going to take relationship advice from somebody who's been divorced 3 times? You're going to take financial advice from somebody who is up to their eyeballs in debt and frivolously spends money but can't figure out why they can't get out that situation? No. You are going to take advice and you'll read up and take advice from the people that's done it. Go on YouTube, go find the people that's done it, listen to what they have to say. And then you strategize off of that. But the second you start to doubt yourself and you start to not believe, you're in trouble. If you believe in what you're doing, then you're doing it righteously. If you're doing it righteously, then you just keep going, bro. And that's it. The chips are going to fall one way or the other, because two things are going to happen. Either it's going to work out or it's not. If it doesn't, it's not a fail. You just need to re-strategize. If you stop because you just those self-doubt, the naysayers, if you stop, you fail. If you quit, you fail. You readjust. Okay, if that Google thing isn't working, what's another marketing plan I can use? And if that doesn't start to work out, okay, that's not working out. Let me try it this way. You do that until you figure it out, or you do it until you die trying. We had this talk, Will. It's gonna be, you're either going to be successful or you're gonna die on your shield. I'm willing to die on my shield for this. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But it's not gonna be because I quit.
Well, I was going to ask you, what were the other options? And Paul, everything you just said is spot on, by the way. But Will, you said like the Google ads. Like, so what have you looked into? Like, what are the other options to advertise?
Well, I kind of did actually change mid-strategy. So at the beginning, what I did was, unfortunately, what they call search something, where basically is, you know, when you type in Google and you just put in, let's say, podcast, and then a bunch of one page appears and there's nothing but links. So I did it where I'm one of the links. I thought that wasn't good enough. I said I wanted display ads. So I changed all my search ones to display ads, because people may just, if you're just looking at a URL or an address or a title, you may not click on it. However, if you see a picture of the actual product, I'm like, people may be intrigued enough to click on it. So that's when I switched all my search ads over to display ads. So that was one thing. Other than that, there is no other option except to maybe look at another company that's like Google Ads that can do this. And I actually learned about something recently watching a Tekashi 6ix9ine documentary, which I found weirdly interesting.
How to snitch.
Well, besides how to snitch, two things. One, I didn't know there's like companies or firms out there that have actually Instagram accounts with millions of followers that will push your product. Like, I think at some point Tekashi 6ix9ine teamed up with this company or whatever. And because they had like 160 million views within like 30 different accounts, they were pushing his music. Like, you were constantly getting his music through Instagram. I didn't know that actually existed. The second thing, shock value. So before Tekashi got popular in the music thing, he was getting popular because he was doing shock things. Like, I didn't realize he was the dude that gave a girl a pedigree on the bed. I didn't realize that was him at the time.
I remember that.
Until today. There was like some viral video that went out of him just pedigreeing a girl or whatever on the bed. Second thing, he started this design on his shirts. He did his own designs and whatever, but he did shock value stuff. Like, he would put HIV AIDS on the front. He would put like pussy in the front and then put eater in the back. And weirdly enough, that would gain like crazy attention. So I'm like, what do I have to put, like cocaine, me doing cocaine on the front of my damn shirt to like?
Shock value helps, but and I was talking to my boy Gray Booker. I did an episode, it's gonna come out Thanksgiving Eve. When that comes out, Will Enland, I want you to hear it, because he talks about his start and where he is now. Now he's a fashion designer that makes women's boots, bags, and things like that. He's successful at it. And he's actually touched on that. And what he said was that shock value, that that thing that's not talent is just a sprinkle on something because that makes them watch it because the talent's not there. Tekashi, is he talented? No. If you ask me, he just screams on the mic and he has but his gimmick. The gimmick is what got him somewhere. That's part of it. But the other part of it, and this is the part that we need to heed, is his hustle. His hustle doesn't stop when he was going in. Whoever is successful like that, it's the hustle. The gimmick part is what it is, man. That's just a sprinkle to cover up the not talent that you don't have. Your designs are awesome. You have talent in that area. The grind and the hustle. When you stop hustling and you stop grinding, you're going to stop. That grind is never going to stop. When it does, so will you. It's pretty much that simple. At the end of the day, you strategize, you figure out what you want, and then you go get it. As simple as that sounds, that's what it is. I can't really say anything else other than that, man. Strategize your plan. Figure out your path. The shit is chess, man. You're playing chess. You haven't knocked out the piece you want to knock out yet. But you're going to. It may take a day. It's not going to take a day. Well, no, it may take a day. It's not going to take a month. It's not going to take, it may take a year. It may take 2 years. But if that's what the grind is going to ask you to do, that's what this game is going to ask you to do, then you do it. And again, if something is not working, the excuse that is always heard, and the successful people say this, is, I tried it once, I tried it twice, I tried everything. Did you really try everything? Chances are you didn't. And if you tried everything, then you figure out another route. And then you try everything there. That's the game. That separates the people that's done it from the people that haven't. And I'm going to keep on trying until I'm dead. Then my game is over. We are playing a game. This little thing called life, it's just a game. Even if you're playing the sidelines, even if you're sitting down playing video games, you're playing the game. That's the game you decide to play. You're going to reap those results. Everything costs. What you're doing now, that self-doubt, that's hitting you, that's hitting me. No exception to this shit. I don't have it all figured out, but I know. Knowing and applying. We know what the grind is. We know what it's going to be. We know the course. Are you willing to apply it? Are you willing to go through it? If you're willing for the blood, sweat, and tears that come with it, the self-doubt that comes in that has you crying in the corner when you're by yourself, the part that has you pissed off at the world because it's not where you want it to be yet. When those days come, and they're coming if they haven't hit you yet, and guess what? After that, they're going to hit you again. If you can get over those humps and still keep going, dust yourself off and go, okay, that's all you got? Feed me more. Because I'm not stopping. That is the savage-like mentality you have to have. If not, the cost is going to be what that is. So, unless anybody else has anything to add on that, that's going to be what it is, man. The grind doesn't stop. Len, Will, anybody else that's hearing, myself included, I don't have all this shit figured out. And if I quit, then I'm just talking shit. If I don't quit and I keep going, who knows where it goes? If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But if I quit, I fail. That word fail holds a lot of weight. If you try it and it doesn't work out, bro, you tried it and it didn't work out. Then you find your other hustle. You find the things, if you want out of the situation you're in, and believe me, I want out of the situations I find myself in. Because I'm tired of having them. Then you will grind until you drop. If I'm content with the horse shit I have to deal with, I gave it a shot, it didn't work, whatever. I'll be used to this horse shit life I'm living. I'm done living that life. And that's going to be what it is. I'm going 100 miles an hour until the engine breaks, until that shit explodes and I overheat. That nigga tow my ass to a grave. Until then, I'll be doing this. If not, I will figure something else out. And then I try to maneuver my way through that. Strategize, figure it out. You know it, you apply it, and you don't stop. Not for those voices in your head, not because the numbers aren't what they want to be, not because of anything else. You keep going until you drop. Win or on your shield. Those are the two options right now. For me, and it should be for you, and it should be for you, and it should be for anybody listening. If you want it, if you believe. If you don't believe, good luck to you. You're just living a lie. If you believe and you say to yourself, I'm not going to stop. I promise you, man, those numbers are going to get better. It's going to get better. But it's not going to happen in one day, dude. It never will. Unless you pick a lottery number and hit it. I love my family. You know, my dad's is in the older category. Oh man, I can't wait to hit this lottery number. That's what you're banking on? Again, he's older like that. You know, not saying you can still figure out something and try to hustle his way. He's content with, I'm gonna pick these lottery numbers, man. Hopefully we hit. Hopefully. If that's what you want to bank on, good luck to you. I'm not banking on a dollar and a dream. Your dollar and your dream is what you're going to put into it. If you keep on trucking, your numbers ain't there, but you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna figure it out. Then you're gonna get it, man. But you have to believe. You have to exhaust every option you have. And then when all those are exhausted, you figure out another path. If you believe. So don't let the naysayers, don't let that voice in your head. That voice in your head is the fucking devil. Got an angel on your shoulder and a devil on your shoulder. That voice that's shooting that negativity at you saying quit, it's the devil. If you want to live in hell, go ahead and listen to him. If you want to say, yeah, I hear you, go fuck yourself. I'm not stopping. You'll get what you're going to get after it, man. It'll be there, dude. You just can't stop. Again, I don't have it figured out, but I know that. And it's time to apply it. And we'll see what happens. But I can tell you this much. If it doesn't work out, they're not going to say, Paul, quit. It's not going to happen. So, I mean, that's one thing. That's really all I want to say. It took a lot, but I felt it needed to be said. Because, you know, in these conversations I have with you, Will, I hear that voice in your head. I have the same voice in my head. Again, I would love for you to sell your shirt today and be a world famous designer tomorrow. I would love to do a podcast today and be Joe Rogan tomorrow. They never did it that way. Rogan's been doing a podcast for Years on years on years. All designers, it took them years. That's the grind. And that's what this is going to be. So, anybody got anything else to add to that? If not, we can move on.
We can move on. Well, actually, no. So, like, going back to what you said earlier, as far as like the mental game of it, and this is kind of like one of the things that I was going to bring up as far as things that I noticed throughout the week. So, obviously, they have like a 911 number, and this has to deal with mental health, but 911 for like emergencies. Now they're going to come up with a number in the United States, like the number is 988, and that's for like any kind of like mental emergencies, which I think is pretty cool that they're doing.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised, man. If you could will it, it could happen. From somebody that's has, I don't know, been in my family for longer. It's been in all the males in my family. Mental health is there. Issues. I've had to know, I haven't sought any professional help. No, nothing. Trying to figure it all out on my own. Don't know if that's a good thing or not. I'm not saying I recommend that, but I'm in a way better spot now than I ever have been. That mental game. This is a game. That mental part of it is going to be the deciding factor. Let nothing stop you up here, man. If nothing stops you up here, nothing's going to stop you outside of your head. That'll break you. What's going on in here? That will either be your win or your downfall. Is what goes on in here. Ain't got shit to do with the outside world. It's the other thing I learned. The outside world means nothing. If you're confident here, if you think you're gonna do it here, if you believe it up here, there's no outside force that's gonna stop you. Any of those forces that I guarantee you, anything that's gonna stop you is going to start from up here. Don't let it, man. Just don't let it. I've wasted years living up here and having those doubts and having those doubts, that dark place, it's not going to lead anywhere. You get over that hump, if nothing can stop you up here, nothing is going to stop you out there. I promise you that. But you have to believe, man. That positivity, that nothing's going to stop me mentality, that's what separates them from, when I say us, I say me, like we're not there yet. But guess what? We will be there if this is right. If it's not, and we have those doubts creep in, that negativity creeps in, that darkness, you're gonna bathe in that darkness. It's not gonna work. It's the Matrix, man. There is no spoon. All of that shit is up here. If you could conquer this, you could conquer the world. Where there's a will, there's a way. That's been around forever. You know who follows that? Successful people. If you could think it, if you could manifest that shit. You think it, you plot it. Again, knowing and applying. You can know that shit all day. If you know what it is up here, that's fine. If you don't apply it, they work together. Or you can have all the positive thoughts in the world. If you don't strategize on that shit, you'll just be a positive person with nothing to show for it. If you are positive and you have those thoughts and you apply them to what you need to do, sky's the limit. That's it.
Bye.